Hey, welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. Here's a first after many years. Dave and I actually met in person for the first time. No, just kidding.
Never met.
We've never met. It was whatever. Anyway, we're here. And today we are doing At the Earth's Core. Peter Cushing, 1976. Dave and I decided this time to go find something shitty.
Yeah,
bad.
I think
looking for something bad, and
I think we did it.
we found something bad, but it did not. I don't think it dethroned. But let's talk about this movie, At Earth's Core, 1976. This is kind of like those movies that Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yeah.
Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Ray Harryhausen. And the only reason I bring up Harryhausen is because of the amount of miniatures in here,
not the
stop motion. And really,
Jesus.
Harryhausen should not have been mentioned. I just don't know why I said that, because I thought of creatures.
No Harryhausen.
No, it really shouldn't. So before the two of you that listen to us, jump on me. No, I know there's no stop motion in here, but it would have been really good with Ray Harryhausen doing this.
It would have improved it a lot, because I think those monsters would have come off as more convincing.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to Okay, so folks, what we're dealing with here is a story of a couple of Englishmen who, in the Victorian era, had set off to drill to the center of the earth or through the earth. Or what were they trying to do?
What he was initially trying to do was just go through the
mountain. They were just going to go through the mountain to show his...
Because the guy was like, I'll get on my horses. We'll beat you there before you get over there.
Well, they did.
And I'm sure they did, like 6 months later. What's funny is Doug McClure is the actor who's the main young, good-looking guy.
So where have I seen him before?
He's been in a ton of stuff, and his name is just... I never remember his name. I always see him, and I know him. I like see him in movies. And then when I realize it's Doug McClure, and I've heard people talk about Doug McClure a lot, and it's like, that's Doug McClure. I never knew that guy's name was Doug McClure. What the hell? But he's the young guy. Supposed to be the young guy. He's probably in his 30s by now, 35, 48 at this point. But he doesn't speak with a British accent at all. He doesn't speak, not at all.
No, I mean, they had enough to know that they were Brits. At least it felt that way.
Right.
But it's this is I don't think this movie knew what it wanted to be. It's adapted from Edgar Rice Burroughs.
Right.
And I have a hard time believing that this held to the story closely.
Yeah, because this one was... I haven't read a lot of Edgar Rice Burroughs. I know he's done Tarzan.
Yeah.
I know he's done like a couple other stories that if I hear the name, I know him. But this was... I don't think I've ever even seen this movie before.
I had never seen this movie, and it was weird.
Yeah.
It was fucking weird.
I agree with you. It didn't seem like it knew what it wanted to be when it grew up.
No, it was. I've texted you at one point watching this movie. Oh my God, it turned into Seven Samurai.
Yeah, it did feel like that.
Yeah, it's like here we go. Let's train the people how to fight these. All right, folks, you ready? You ready for this? Here we go. They make it to this.
He's better at this than I am.
They make it to the center of the earth. Okay, because something
something
screws up, and boy, look, this is pretty cool. The effects building this drill was really neat.
Yeah.
The miniatures used in it, even though the train conductor was obviously a doll.
If they would have done something to make him move a little bit, it would have been more.
If I hadn't seen that fake ass hand that looked like a glob,
and nothing moved,
nothing moved, then I would have bought it. But no. So something happens to the machine, and they go deep, almost to the core, and they emerge in an area where it's like prehistoric.
Yeah.
And there's these really bad creatures, and there's a race of telepathic, psychopathic birds that what are they called?
I forget.
I just had it on the tip of my head.
The Pharaoh?
No, it was something with an H, I thought. Oh God, they were annoying.
They were annoying.
Here's the problem that I had with it was they to show the telepathic powers, they made some weird sound, showed the eye glow on the bird, and then he'd blink. I would have honestly preferred to have heard a voice.
Yeah, I didn't like the way they had the bad guys talking. It was sounded like
Jaw was on crack.
It sounded like they just played everything
They did.
backwards.
They
And I
backwards.
was
It
like,
was choppy and speeding up, and it
and
was.
I get why they did it. They wanted to make it sound unhuman, and that's fine,
But
but it didn't work.
it sounds exactly like what it is, and
Yeah,
that's the problem
you've heard
because
it. We've heard it
you heard
before.
it's like this is off. I would rather them. I get it, making up a language, please, but you could have done something.
It
Um,
doesn't say what their
I
humans
mean,
and
how the
their
movie
creatures do.
Caveman was able to get off without much English.
Ringo Starr.
You
God
know
bless
what? That's
Ringo
on tap
Starr.
for this year. I promise you, we got to do
God
Caveman.
bless Ringo Starr. I gotta love Ringo
A
Starr.
toque,
Yeah.
Lana, Zug Zug. Sorry,
Zug Zug.
Zug Zug. Anyway, speaking of Zug Zug,
Let's talk about the cast real
the
quick.
cast. It's a short cast.
Doug McClure was David Innes. Peter Cushing played Dr.
Oh,
Abner Perry.
God bless him.
Now, Peter Cushing, I love Peter Cushing. He's hunted vampires. He's werewolves, the mummy. He's fought the mummy. And then in this movie, he's just this absent-minded,
It's weird.
I don't know. But there's two movies he did, Doctor Who movies, and he plays very much the same type of character. And I don't know why he chose it that way. It didn't make sense to me. And I was waiting for him to like be the hero at some point.
Right.
He wasn't. And then there's the two Carolyn Monroes. I mean, just Carolyn Monroe, who
Look,
her name is Dia. Dia.
I thought it was Thea the way he was talking.
And it didn't make any sense she was somehow a princess.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, there
the
was
princess
there was
thing.
there was such bullshit with this story. Folks, it's a wonder we made it through this.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
this this has got some really long scenes, needs a lot of help with editing. Storytelling is all out of whack. It's got Caroline Monroe. Did I mention it has her?
both of them.
And that's pretty much, I'm sorry, if you've seen her in a movie, you know why she's cast. She
Yeah,
can
she-
act. She's absolutely gorgeous and
Yeah.
is a staple of the movies of this time, especially the
Yeah.
Hammer
I'm
films
just
and
kind of flicking through
stuff.
here.
So she's been in a lot. One of those pretty prolific actresses.
Yeah.
But this movie,
Yeah. Oh,
so anyway, what happens in this movie?
this is a good movie.
It's not a good movie. There's things that don't make sense about all of a sudden there's a whole tribe underneath the ground and
I just got rid of that. 'Cause
it's fine.
It's a bad movie.
It's just a bad. You know what? There's no point in telling you. If you want to watch some,
Go ahead and tell us.
okay, so basically it turns into Seven Samurai and they end up training the people on how to fight the Mayhaw.
Mayha, that's it. That's it. The Mayha.
The Mayhaw,
Mayhaw.
which are these prehistoric pterodactyls that fly on wires. Yes, folks, you can see the wires and all, and they hover around, and it's a horrible.
Here's the big problem. Well, one of the big problems that I had with the movie, and this I try not to hammer out too bad of flicks. There's a lot of neat stuff in here. I could see where this could be a good story. I'd have to read the
I would have to
Bryce
read it.
Burroughs,
Yeah, absolutely.
novelization. I just kicked the camera. Sorry,
That's all right.
but I have to try and find out like where they were going, what's really part of the book and what's not.
Yeah,
I think it's got the bones of something interesting.
it does.
Maybe not good, maybe not great, but interesting. And the problem is the tech at the time, they didn't know what they were doing. Which one?
The Batman.
Oh yeah,
This is great.
we're sitting in my office.
Sorry,
It's the first time.
first time I've been in Dave's office.
Scott's been over.
Boba
so-
Fett, Batman, Darkseid.
Well, I
you know,
painted the Boba Fett.
Boba
The
Fett's
Dark Side I
beautiful.
bought. This is from Jim Ballant.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Yeah, it's really nice. And of course, I got my Frazetta
Yes,
Conan over there.
very cool.
I got a lot of art, and some
Yeah.
of it's going to go up. I got a lot more art to put up whenever I finish The Office. But the whole point of this movie was lost.
Yeah,
I mean, Doug McClure, I'm sorry. There's no way he would have went. There's no way he would have went back to the surface. You got Monroe waiting for you, and it's like, I
See, that
love
whole-
you. You can stay with me in these. And
they made a whole
You
thing.
know?
They made a whole thing about how he disrespected her because he didn't fight this other guy.
yeah,
The names were look. This movie's fucking silly. It's just silly. It has potential. It's got the bones to a good adventure.
it's good for a little kid. Like if you got a kid, I think a kid would like it. Like if I was 12 or 13 years old and watched this, I probably would have liked it. As an
Yeah,
adult, I'm watching it.
I don't like it.
What I see are the changing of the size, the big creatures that they first see,
Yeah.
the big things that look just like the main bad guys, but without wings.
Yeah.
At one point, they're like 2, 3 stories tall, and then Doug McClure comes up to fight one, and he's about waist high on this thing. I'm like, wait a minute, that thing was just knocking down trees.
Yeah, they were huge.
And then he's shaking the thing, shaking the tree, and its face is right there next to
So
the vampire hunter.
yeah,
And,
Van Helsing, I mean Cushing,
Governor Tarkin, and
yeah,
and all of a sudden, like in its waist, and I'm like, wait a minute,
yeah. They had some
their
issues with
size
that.
was really bad.
However, it was really cool. I think the effects were good.
Yeah.
For given the time, the character models are absolutely atrocious.
Mhm.
But
I'd agree with
you know, I don't know. I say no. Look, folks, this is what I'm going to say. This is an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
It's got some bits in it, but it's lost, and you can miss it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they had a good idea. Somewhere, somebody had a good idea.
Yeah,
Somewhere, somebody at the studio put notes in and they followed the notes.
exactly,
That's my best
exactly.
guess. And Doug McClure definitely wanted to kiss the woman at some point.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was
But-
probably written in the contract.
Exactly.
And there's the pizza.
There's the pizza. I'll be right back.
Okay, so yeah, pizza showed up right in the middle of the podcast, but hey, you know what? That's how it always happens as we wrap it up. Dave, tell them why this is a movie not worth watching.
And now the dogs are barking because
Yeah, that's all right.
It's not a movie worth watching because I'm going to take a wild guess and no. And somebody didn't want to lose a job and followed the studio notes. And Peter Cushing should have been the hero.
He should have been. He was a bumbling fool,
yeah.
and I really
I didn't buy
hated
him.
I didn't buy it. That was it. I didn't like the character.
The funny thing is, maybe we'll do one of the Doctor Who's. I think
We should.
I enjoy watching him
Yeah.
in this as the same type of character in the
Yeah.
Doctor Who movies. It works really well. In this, it didn't work. It just didn't work. The special effects were okay. I liked the up shots and the
Yeah.
down shots. The problem is when they were doing like the green screen, like what we got.
Yeah.
The sizes of the monsters were changing.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to say. They did good, but then they fell short on a lot
And
of shit.
I thought those guys with the wings, I thought they were a lot bigger. And then when they swoop down, all of a sudden they're like, I mean, I wouldn't want to fight one because they got these big gnashing beak things.
They came in like a pinata.
Yeah.
Like a pinata. All they needed was a stick to just beat the stuffing out of
The
it.
wing and flip it around.
Get your candy and
The dog
go.
doesn't even like it.
Exactly.
My dogs
Exactly.
didn't even like this.
No,
movie.
they didn't. They didn't.
But for a kid, if you have
Yeah.
a little kid, they'd probably find it very entertaining and probably be one of their favorite movies.
I could see that. I could see that. So,
He's
folks,
enjoying this.
you can miss this one, but don't miss us. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the
We're
subscribe.
friendly.
We are. And check us out next week when we keep trying to find something bad.
We're gonna find another bad movie.
Coming your way, bad movies.